One Page Weekly with Nick Slavik. Limits. Data plus feelings. Humans only use about 50% of their mind and body potential. A safety bubble is partially created by your body in the form of a governor. This governor limits the body's potential for damage by using only some of your muscle fibers when strained, not all at once, and by attempting to preserve oxygen and stop tendons and ligament damage. For survival and preservation, the body has a comfort bias, not a strain and grow bias. Ultra athletes regularly override this governor. Most humans do not. And at work, people can really only use 30 to 50% of their potential to focus. Overriding these distractions that prevent focus can produce 4 to 5 times more pattern recognition and production. I went to Idaho to hunt for the second time this year, my family having drawn 2 pretty desirable elk tags in a pretty awesome hunting unit. Failing is easy in a pursuit like this, the least of which is the knowledge of the animals, weapons, optics, and day-to-day subsistence in the backcountry. What was more unexpected is the physical investment into creating those opportunities. I wrote about perspective after my last Idaho trip, episode 54, if you're interested. I had a huge revelation about size, scope, and the enormity of the space I was in. 8,000-foot elevation mountains, elevation gains per mile, and even what an animal looks like from a long ways away. It was a complete retraining of the brain and overriding the mental governor from my Midwest hunting experience. In Minnesota, big game hunting is mainly auditory and at close range and relies heavily on reaction and quick, accurate shots. Western big game hunting relies upon visuals almost exclusively and your ability to find the animals, a skill of which I was at a distinct disadvantage. On the second trip to Idaho this fall, I was more dialed in. I was spotting game, I knew what colors and shapes to look for, but I was still wildly outclassed by my teacher, friend, and patient guide, Cameron. Besides the ability to find animals, there seems to be one major limiting factor to Western big game hunting: physical endurance and willingness to go through some type 2 fun in order to create opportunities. My teacher, guide, and friend has a wonderful philosophy about this. Pick a scary, nasty climb first thing in the cold, dark morning to limit your interactions with other hunters and increase your opportunities to find animals, especially on public land. He enjoys 800 to 1,200 feet of vertical climb right away to get to the ridge tops to start looking over vast valleys. When you get out of the truck in the dark, you stare straight up at a wall of rock, almost not able to see the top. You tighten your straps, follow your map, and start to ascend. Within minutes, your legs are burning, your heart is pounding, and you can taste blood in the back of your throat, an all too familiar feeling from my track and cross-country days. We start and end each day with this routine, but are rewarded with mountain views, animal interactions, and deeply introspective moments. On the first day of this elk trip, we marched more than 12 miles through a remote range, many ups and downs, ran out of water and used iodine tablets and creek water to fuel us. Put a long stalk on a bull elk of such a size that Cameron was visibly excited. We came within 350 yards and watched him bed. I took a well-thought-out shot and missed cleanly. The elk skylined over the ridge and was miles away in minutes. Then we had a multi-mile mountain march back to the truck, ample time to let the gratitude seep in from the experience. This was the farthest I've ever shot at an animal. I was prepared as much as I was able, shooting range, ruck marching back home, etc., but I was still not as prepared as I would like to be. The experience I gained on these 2 trips, especially the last, adjusted my mental and physical governor closer to where it needs to be, but still woefully far away from where it could be. 1.1x progress. This has been One Page Weekly with Nick Slavik.